The lab was my world, a sterile sanctuary, a fortress of science against the encroaching chaos of the outside world. It was a place where precision reigned, and every action was calculated. Deep within the ancient Siberian permafrost, a place where secrets are locked in ice for millennia, we found it. A prehistoric virus, a biological time capsule, frozen for millennia, a silent threat waiting to be unleashed. We called it Frostfang, a name that echoed its icy origins and the danger it represented. Its structure, even under the most powerful microscopes, was unlike anything I'd ever seen, a bizarre and alien architecture. Efficient, almost perfectly so, a testament to eons of evolution in the cold, dark depths. Ancient, a relic from a forgotten world, a ghost from a time before humanity walked the earth, terrifying. The implications of its existence were staggering, a potential harbinger of global catastrophe. Now, within the confines of my lab, under controlled conditions, it was waking up, stirring from its long slumber. And it was my job, my solemn responsibility, to meticulously map its dangers, to understand its every weakness and strength. Before it could escape these walls and threaten the world, before it could unleash a pandemic unlike anything we've ever known. Each vial I handled was a potential apocalypse in miniature, a contained cataclysm waiting for a single mistake. Shielded only by the thinnest glass and the strongest steel, our last line of defense against an ancient enemy. The data, as it poured in, painted a grim and increasingly alarming picture of Frostfang's capabilities. Frostfang was not merely a survivor, it was a predator, perfectly adapted to exploit its environment, designed to replicate with brutal speed, overwhelming any defense with sheer force of numbers. I worked alone, fueled by a potent mix of fear and morbid fascination, pushing myself to the brink of exhaustion, knowing with every passing hour that I'd disturbed a sleeping monster, and now it was awake and hungry. My mission, the only thing that mattered. Find its weakness, its Achilles heel, the flaw in its ancient design. Ensure this relic stayed buried, that its secrets remained locked away in the ice forever. The constant hum of the lab, the whirring of the machinery, reminded me, with every vibration, how incredibly thin the barrier was between safety and utter, unimaginable catastrophe. Suddenly, without warning, the world lurched violently beneath my feet. The ground bucked and swayed, throwing everything into chaos. A deep, guttural rumble shook the lab to its very foundations. It was a sound that resonated in my bones, a primal roar of the earth's fury. The fluorescent lights above flickered erratically, casting dancing shadows across the room. Then, with a final sputter, they plunged us into near darkness, punctuated only by the piercing wail of alarms that blared incessantly. The building groaned under the immense strain, a symphony of cracking concrete and twisting metal as the earthquake relentlessly hammered against it. Inside the biosafety cabinet, the unthinkable, the impossible, happened. A nightmare scenario unfolding before my very eyes. The vials containing Frostfang, once secure and stable, tumbled like dice in a cosmic game of chance, colliding with each other until they shattered into a million glittering shards. The deadly contents, the culmination of years of research, pooled on the cabinet floor, a glistening, ominous puddle. The emergency lights intensified, painting the room in a hellish glow, alarms flashing red, a visual testament to the catastrophe unfolding. The monster, the virus, the unimaginable threat, was out of its cage, free to wreak havoc. An eerie silence followed the chaos, a deceptive calm after the storm. It was broken only by the incessant blaring of the alarm, a constant reminder of the danger, and the frantic pounding of my own heart, a drumbeat of fear echoing in my ears. The cabinet's compromised seal was now the last fragile barrier between the virus and the world. But after a quake like this, the lab's emergency system, designed to protect us, would automatically vent to the outside air. In 60 minutes, the unthinkable would happen. I had 1 hour, a single, precious hour, before Frostfang could escape the confines of this lab and potentially spread into the world, unleashing a global catastrophe. The very system meant to protect us, to contain the threat, was now my greatest enemy, a ticking time bomb. The countdown to disaster, to global pandemic, had irrevocably begun. Panic? Panic was a luxury I simply couldn't afford. Not now, not when everything hung in the balance. Every second counted, every decision mattered. I had to neutralize the virus, contain this threat, before the purge protocols were initiated. The stakes were higher than anyone could imagine. The incinerator was too far. Precious time would be lost. I needed a solution, and I needed it now, Right here, right this instant. Fire, extreme heat, a primal force. It could destroy the virus, obliterate its structure, render it harmless. The lab's emergency protocol, a series of fail-safe measures designed for just such a catastrophe. A thermite charge, a last-ditch solution, was secured inside the cabinet. It was a last resort, a measure of desperation. But this was that moment, the point of no return, the only path forward. The activation panel was across a debris-strewn floor, a testament to the chaos unleashed. I moved carefully, navigating the wreckage, every step a risk, a gamble against the odds. Reaching the panel, finally within grasp, I shattered the glass, the alarm blaring in my ears, and hovered over the button, the weight of the world on my fingertip. Triggering the charge would destroy years of research, countless hours of dedication. But the alternative was unthinkable, a future consumed by this virus. My duty was clear, unwavering. Protect the world, safeguard humanity, no matter the cost, no matter the sacrifice. I pressed the button. Magnetic locks sealed the cabinet securely, a piercing electronic whine built in intensity. I scrambled back quickly, shielding my eyes. A blinding flash of white light erupted violently. The thermite ignited instantly, turning the cabinet into a raging furnace. Over 2,000 degrees in mere seconds. The virus, the equipment, all of it, the data, all completely vaporized. The alarms abruptly stopped. Silence returned to the lab. I checked the clock, 15 minutes left before the purge sequence. I'd actually made it. A wave of relief washed over me completely. The threat was finally gone. In the aftermath, I realized some secrets are truly best left buried deep. My greatest achievement wasn't discovery at all, but destruction itself. Sometimes, survival ultimately means knowing which battles must never begin at all.